So in today's mini lesson we're going to look at the pre-test procedures that an assessor or performer needs to be completing, how they can calibrate their equipment, as well as how they can maximise the accuracy of results that they gain from tests. Pre-test procedures in 3 words is prepared, informed and safe. The assessor needs to have the appropriate equipment prepared for the test that they're about to be completing. They need to talk the performer through or inform them of how the fitness test is going to be run, and they need to make sure that the equipment and the performer and where they're completing the test is a safe environment to do so. To adequately prepare for a fitness test, the assessor needs to make sure that they have gone through the fitness test procedures themselves without a subject present. They need to know exactly how the equipment works, how it operates, what could potentially go wrong with them, as well as how to record data from the test itself. Once the assessor is happy that they know what they're doing and they have the appropriate equipment to complete this fitness test, they then need to walk and talk the performer through exactly what's going to be conducted and completed during the fitness test. They need to be able to answer any questions the performer has about where they need to be or what they need to do or how they need to complete the test. The performer needs to be absolutely comfortable and sure that they want to be completing the test. Before officially administering the fitness test, the performer needs to complete a sufficient warm-up, raising their body temperature, raising their heart rate, stretching dynamically the muscles they're about to be using. It's also good practice for the performer to go through practice runs or dummy runs of the fitness test so that they can eliminate human error as much as possible in the actual conduction of the test. During this time, it's likely or good practice for the assessor to calibrate the equipment they're about to be using. Which leads us into our second point, calibration. What is it, how do we complete it, and why is it important? Calibration is essentially checking the accuracy of the fitness test equipment that we're about to use. The more accurate the equipment is, the more accurate the results and data that we gain from the fitness test are going to be as well. To calibrate equipment, the assessor needs to have access to specialist calibration equipment. This can come as a cost to them. As and when they do have access to them, however, they need to be measuring or testing the testing equipment with this specialist equipment. For example, if they were to be completing a BMI test and they needed the weight and the height of the performer, in order to calibrate the weighing scales, they might need a 1, a 5 and a 10 kilogram weight that's been independently measured and verified, and they can then weigh that on their own weighing scales, and if they too get the 1, the 5 and the 10 kilogram weight, then they can say that the weighing scales are accurate and they've been calibrated and they're ready for use. When calibrating, it's good practice to check as many of the same pieces of equipment on hand as possible. This way the assessor can draw out any anomalies or faulty or broken equipment and discard them. Calibration, however, is limited to the accuracy or the precision of the piece of equipment that's being tested. To improve fitness testing overall, an assessor wants to have to hand the most accurate and the most precise form of measuring equipment that they have access to. Limiting factors, however, for accessing precise equipment could be knowledge of how to use them, the availability to where they are, and the cost of acquiring them. For example, a swimming coach could use 3 different types of timing, all of differing levels of accuracy, all require different types of calibration methods. The first could be a second-hand stopwatch, so where the hand is ticking round, they might be able to record a time in whole seconds. The second, slightly more accurate and slightly more expensive form of measuring could be a digital stopwatch, where they might have access to milliseconds or even hundreds of seconds when they start and stop the watch. But the most accurate form of measuring would be the use of pressure boards inside the swimming pool itself, whereby the single or slight vibration felt by the pressure board at either end tells a computer to start a clock and to stop the clock even to the 1000th second. But with each differing level, we've obviously got rising costs, we require more knowledge to use them, and there's more things that could go wrong, which, if we think about calibration, we don't want faulty processes in equipment. So for the pressure boards in particular, in order to calibrate this precise piece of equipment, we're going to require more specialist equipment, which is going to incur even more costs in order to check that they're producing the precise and accurate results that they're meant to. With all this increasing difficulty, cost, or the potential for it to go wrong, however, it's essential for sport, especially for those high-level or elite performers, where 1,000th of a second could be the difference between a gold and silver medal, or in a team environment, a thousandth of a second could be the difference between having a spot on the team or not having a spot. On top of using the most precise equipment to improve accuracy, the assessor should also complete multiple tests to gain as much data as possible, which they can then average out to gain an average score. They can then look at the collection of data produced, and they can actually remove any anomalies which they feel the performer has produced to improve the accuracy even further. So in the end, we've got a result which is the product of 100 different trials, and out of these 100, this is the average. It removes the possibility that a performer has a fluke attempt and that's the result that they go for. So to summarise, we looked at the pretest procedures, how to calibrate equipment, and how and why the accuracy of measuring is so important in sport. When preparing for a test, the assessor needs to make sure that they're prepared, they have the correct equipment and they know what they're doing. They've walked and talked the subject or the performer through the test so they know exactly what they're doing, and everything they're using is in a safe and appropriate manner and environment. They should look to complete calibration of the equipment that they're using, which is the checking of the accuracy of the equipment. The more accurate the equipment, the more reliable and accurate the results are going to be, which is better for the performer. The assessor uses a specialist piece of equipment which has a known quantity or measurement, and they use this to check their equipment that is producing the right results. For example, by placing a 1, a 5 and a 10 kilo weight on a weighing scale, if it reads off the right number, we know it's correct. But before all of this, the assessor needs to try and acquire the most accurate pieces of measuring equipment that they possibly can. The more detailed and precise the results that they can gain, the better it will be for the performer. Thanks for watching. I hope you found that mini lesson useful. If you did, then feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can be kept up to date with all the video and content that we're going to be bringing you. Alternatively, if you want to learn more about private tuition or the teaching and learning resources that we write, then visit us at thepetutor.com. You can reach out to one of our team, and I hope to hear from or see you very soon.